Hey Pisces, your April 2024 reading. So we're in the thick of eclipse season now, so you may notice the energy around you is shifting and it is pivotal and it's putting you in new directions and cutting ties and closing doors behind you that are well and truly outdated at this point. The Five of Cups is that setback that you experience at the end of March. Everything had been going according to plan. There has been something that has stirred up a feeling within you. And this feeling is a little bit like a regret, or you're just maybe finding it hard to process an emotion at the end of March. We'll look deeper into that. The good news when we see the Five of Cups is there are still two full cups. So we know that all is not lost. We know that something can be salvaged. We know that there is still a possibility to work on this and to improve this situation. The Ace of Swords as the affirmative yes from the universe that comes through around that solar eclipse on April 8th is really needed by you at this time, because you do get to reach a breakthrough, or you get the validation or the yes on the offer, the yes on the request that is necessary for you to progress. So we're holding out for a big thumbs up coming through for you around the 8th of April. And it's that eureka insight kind of like download that you get. But with the Nine of Swords at the end of the month, it tells me that the emotional setback or disappointment or feeling of loss that you experience in late March is still somewhat on your mind and you're still kind of reeling from it. Let's get into these cards and figure out a way to navigate the month of April, I think. But before doing that, let's pull an oracle card. So this oracle card should be a message for you in support of the eclipse season portal. Remember, eclipse energy is intense. It really is. The 25th eclipse, the 25th of March eclipse, is a lunar eclipse beside the South Node in Libra full moon. And with the Five of Cups, there's this kind of like loss or a letting go of, and that can be difficult, a realization that you have to come to sort of terms with, but at the same time it does create space for something else or more time for you to focus on the cups that are still full. The Mountain. So of course when I see the mountain I think of a really big journey that's ahead, you know. It's going to be tough, it's going to require perseverance. You're going to get to the top, of course, and let's read a little bit more about that. So those who tell me that the mountain is the sort of energy you're in right now in eclipse season. Challenge, goals, achievement, growth, transformation, and journey. The mountain calls us to examine the journey we chose and the obstacles we face. There are many mountains to ascend on our journey. Some are aspirations we're trying to reach, while other are challenges we must overcome. So we can use our discernment and to decide what we're aiming for at this time, choosing our mountains wisely. If you don't know, try being less specific. Maybe just feeling healthy and energetic or feeling accomplished, or maybe you have specific goals like winning a gold medal, attaining a certain career status, buying a home. So often when we reach the peak, we hope to find a great sense of accomplishment and clarity, but just as strongly see the view of the next mountain ahead. This is an inherent part of the human nature that is built into us, and it helps us to keep growing, I suppose, and keep ascending and keep setting our sights on new challenges. This says that the path is not always clear. Some paths seem like they are taking a step back. Sometimes we may be in a fog and just not be able to see ahead. Keep on climbing. The experience you gained on the way is always with you, and obstacles are part of that process. So coming through Pisces season for you guys, for us as a fellow Pisces, we've really been examining the core, like the core Piscean belief, you know, believing in your dreams, believing in yourself. And as a mountain archetype crops up for us, I feel like that's some wisdom that we can draw upon, you know, believing in ourselves even in the face of challenge and loss. This loss of the Five of Cups seems to be on an emotional level. Some of you are grieving something. Some of you are missing something or somebody. And some of you are heartbroken. Let's have a look deeper into the Five of Cups. You had your hopes dashed, or you were disappointed, you know, you had really high hopes for this situation. We have the Ten of Cups and the Sun card. I mean, that's really beautiful. With the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, just look at this imagery right here, Pisces, okay? The Eight of Cups and the Ten of Cups are both Piscean cards. Saturn in Pisces, Mars in Pisces. Both Saturn and Mars are in Pisces and will be for the whole of well, Saturn's going to be there for a long time. We talked about this in your March reading, actually. Mars enters Pisces, I believe, on the 23rd of March, and will be there for 6 weeks, okay? Saturn and Mars are what are known as the malefics, okay? And these planetary archetypes correlate to times in our world when things are limiting, when things feel like a test, and when things feel like strife and conflict and severing. And I think, Pisces, where you're going to notice the challenge at the moment in your world is the Pisces part of your chart, because Mars and Saturn in Pisces are transiting through that part of your chart right now. And if you're not sure where that is, drop your rising sign and I'll direct you that way in the comments. But let's just say that there's one certain area of life in particular where you are facing challenge that could be your routine, your physical well-being, it might be your mental well-being, it could be finances, it could be family, it could be your career, it could be your goals, it could be your sense of self or your relationship. There's something that's disappointing you, but these cards speak to a sense of realignment, getting on a path now, this eclipse season, of a more purposeful, a more meaningful direction. These experiences will be carried with you and the wisdom will never be lost. Plus you have great support all around you, family, friends, loved ones, nature, a higher power. You really feel connected all the same. And the Sun card, I mean, the Sun card is about finding joy and bliss and happiness. So that is all just around the corner for you. It's okay to process, or it's indeed just part of your experience, just kind of sinking into this experience of like disappointment or missing somebody. Maybe you just wish this particular person could be with you or could have shared in this experience with you. There is like, it's actually the identical two cards that came through. Am I going out on a limb here? Did the Sun card also come up? I know it was the Five of Cups and the Ten of Cups that came up in your Pisces year ahead reading for February. Because I just had a look at that the other day as a Pisces. I was like, what happened in February? What was that? Oh yeah. And it was the Five of Cups and the Ten of Cups. And the message at that point, I'll link that video below too, was that things may be bittersweet, but under any sort of sad or forlorn or misfortune, and on an emotional level, it could be events and circumstances, but underneath that, there is a real sense of joy to be had, and there are enough amazing and wonderful experiences that happening simultaneously for you that it actually is just part of this very human experience, and the ability for you to feel things so deeply on such a large spectrum of like the best and the worst, or a sliding scale of like joy and sorrow and things like that, really says a lot about the depth of your Piscean awareness and capacity, basically. There are plenty of blessings at the end of the month for you, even ones that override this difficulty you're having in one area of life. I get that. It's where the malefics are running through Saturn and Mars and Pisces. Fun times. But that's in one area of your life now, you know, depending on where that is in your birth chart, it's going to be highly individualized. But the blessings that are happening in other areas of your life, they more than compensate, I think. Let's move into April, because you reach a massive breakthrough, and I feel like this is going to be like, it's like a message from on high, right? I'll show you this card because it just, it floods your crown chakra, and it lights up your whole being, and so much awareness. Six of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. So here's the Ace of Swords. We've got that mountain in the background. We've got the other mountain in the background here in the Sun card. So what else does it say in the mountain card? Each positive sentence we speak is another step up the mountain. Keep speaking and thinking empowering thoughts, and the further you will ascend. Maybe something knocks you down a path or sets you back, but keep speaking positively to yourself and you will continue upwards. When we speak poorly to ourselves or maintain a perspective of problems before us, we keep ourselves on a lower level. The way up is through believing in possibility and the tenacity to set forth towards your goals, knowing that you have all you need to learn along the way if you just have the courage to set forth. This is the mountain that we must climb every day to strive for a higher level of peace and consciousness. Okay, and that positivity and that enlightenment, I think that card might be talking about at the moment, is coming through by way of the Ace of Swords. I think that this is going to be really from the beginning of April onwards, where things start to become more clear, clearer perspective, you feel more enlightened, and maybe you're able to just integrate and understand the full spectrum of emotion you've been feeling lately. And I know it's been a very fluctuating. This could be something to do with changing in like the external world, hormones, inner world. It could be really anything that is causing this kind of boat rocking back and forth like a pendulum swinging. The Six of Pentacles is about finding a lot of harmony and support. And the Four of Wands, like any four, is about stability. This person is like got a real spring in their step, don't they? They're like putting down their troubles and just dashing out the door. I feel like people want to support you, Pisces, and if this is a time in your life where you know, you might be already putting up these like limitations for yourself, like, oh, I don't think I'm going to want to need that, or I don't think I want to reach out, I think I want to do this on my own, I think I want to climb this mountain and face this adversity on my own. And then some of you are kind of coming in with this attitude of like, I don't want to be indebted to anybody. That's the Six of Pentacles here, like this, you know, I don't want to owe them or something like that. But maybe it's, you know, going to be a good idea for you to accept support and help, especially if this is going to be anything to do with finances. That could be really helpful. The Four of Wands, it will be a much more freeing situation for you in April, where you can put a lot of this in the past and continue to ascend when you're ready. You know, it might be nice to just, Six is harmony, Four is stabilization. It might just be nice to kind of settle somewhere in on this mountain. You're not at the bottom, you're not at the top yet, but let's try and just find somewhere safe and comfortable for now to sort of recalibrate and climatize and settle in, Feel supported, feel safe, and re-energized for the next climb ahead. The Nine of Swords, because the Nine of Swords comes through with some mental strain, anguish. What is this? I think it's different, it's something else. Now would be a really great time, Pisces, if you would subscribe to this channel, and if you would like or share, comment. I'd love to hear from you. Any way you'd like to show support, I would really appreciate that. We have the Eight of Swords coming through with the Nine of Swords, and we have the Six of Wands. Let's talk about the Eight and Nine of Swords first. This came up in the Gemini reading, and they are Gemini cards. You might be dealing with a Gemini. The plans might be changing. Something that was due to happen, sure thing, has now shifted, or there was just a different expectation altogether for the end of April, and it looks entirely different now, or the circumstances won't be relevant, or it wouldn't make sense anymore. The Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords, we spoke about it in the Gemini reading. This is about the period of expansion that usually comes after our brain wreaking havoc with us. And Eight and Nine of Swords, of course, is like mental, it's about brain chemistry. It's the brain doing its thing, keeping us safe, perceiving the unknown as a threat, and therefore instead of taking a leap of faith and going confidently towards this new experience, the brain sends signals to the nervous system to just kind of put us into a shutdown, self-sabotage, or kind of paralyzed expression. And that is just the brain doing its normal function and all of that, I get it, but there is something, is it this voice within you? Is it your highest self? It is encouraging you to be a little bit less risk adverse, or just take the risk, because it's about you're about to expand, and instead of shutting down, it should be more about, I guess, even just if you don't want to just like go right like in the deep end on something, the Six of Wands would suggest, well, this is about applause and this is about validation. So where have you already received the external validation, which has, in a sense, at least in as much as it can, proven to you that you're good at this and you can do it, and it's a well-liked endeavor, product, expression of yourself. Even if you start there again instead of going into like a brand new territory, that might help you build up some confidence. Anyway, Pisces, good luck with everything in April, and I'm going to talk to you real soon. Bye.